And it also reminds me so much of, it just takes a yes. We've all done that yes in our walk with God. And once you give that yes, your life is over and God takes you over. And if it's just the willingness to bring the passion through, and it's exactly what Padre has done with the ministry 40 years. It's exactly what Dana has done with FSD and his walk with God in various ways. It's exactly what we're doing. So I think, God's going to use us if we just get out of the way. Our yes means everything. It's our yes is bigger than the karma. It's bigger than the distress. It's bigger than the sorrow. It's bigger than the grief. Yes is like a trumpet. It's like Gabriel's trumpet blowing, and it brings birth and renewal. So it's very exciting. The other thing,
One of the things that strikes me is the elevated consciousness in the midst of so much suffering. So much erosion and confusion and collapse. And here is someone who is building an altar in the middle of a desert, altar to God. And it's very touching. And, he's, can you imagine just being called to this barren place? Just reflecting on that before, like there's such a communion he must have with nature, with the divine, to be called into a place that's literally nothing there. And yet he sees so much that can be there, and so much is there already. It just wasn't birthed until he helped to initiate it.
once it started going, it's self-perpetuating. The seeds come. It gets easier, and it also, like he was saying, it also showed that the consciousness of the people around him were being tested. There were poachers, there were people who wanted to cut down the trees, even though they could see this was magnificent. But it was that friend who appears, that soul friend who appears and helps to galvanize the mission. And that's exactly what we do for each other in community. So I think this is, we're very blessed by CLM. We're very blessed by each other. And I think God's gonna save the day. No matter what, we can get in the way all we want, but God's going to step up and save the day.
But I think the sacredness with which he allowed himself to experience it himself and bring to that place just it only comes from the heart. It just can't come from anywhere else. And I can really see that in him.
Yeah, I agree.
What really struck me too was how the forest was helping him help it grow.
Yeah.
So he was a part of this creation, and anytime he needed something, it would come to him, and people would congregate together. And it's generative, it's self-generative. It really struck me how when we tap into that natural place within us that resides in the heart, that there is a design there that can work with us and be self-generative.
Yeah.
And it can help to grow.
The other thing I really loved was when he took a call in the middle of his work, and isn't that exactly what we all do? Once you're in service, you just answer the phone. You just show up as you're being, 2:00 in the morning, 5:00 in the morning. It doesn't matter. You just respond. So I love that, and that is God's sacred design. That the energy comes from the yes.
There's one more piece I want to share because it's about community, I think. The two of them together. And I think what was so interesting at the very first moment, he was attacking the guy that was going to help him.
No!
Yeah. And he allowed himself to, well, first of all, the photographer, I think G2, he heard a song in the distance, right? He was called by this song, and that resonated, and he moved forward listening to that song of the forest. And and then he comes forth, and Jadot thinks he's trying to attack the forest, and so he's going to attack him. But how this transforms, because they can both feel each other's heart, and that this wasn't meant to harm; it was meant to generate, to grow and alter in the middle of desperation.
Yeah.